Hey Kiara, I'm just getting through your email today. Okay, so this is what you wrote. So I started my sample birth control to see if the pill form is right for me. I had never been on birth control prior to this. After this almost 2 months trial is over, I can tell my doctor if I want to continue taking VC, and she'll prescribe me an official brand of birth control to take, or I can tell her I don't want to continue this. I'm still 17, and my questions to you are, is it safe to still take Maca Root, saw palmetto, flaxseed, etc. while on birth control? I'll try to stay away from phytoestrogens. If I stop BC after my trial and cleanse my system out, do you think that I should incorporate BO into my diet? On some forms, young girls around my age had menstrual and hormonal problems taking BO. Do you think it's too early? Okay, so I'm going to just cut it off right there. It kind of sounds like you're not really sure if you want to do the whole birth control thing. Honestly, when I got on birth control, I was 18 and I took the Ortho Novam 777. And, back then, you just had your pill that would have some estrogen in it and some progesterone, right? So that was the one that I chose. Had I known about the dangers of birth control, I think I would have steered clear from it at that young age because it sterilized me. So I don't know what your reason for taking birth control is. That is so young. I don't know if you're trying to like balance out your hormonal system. Like maybe the doctor said, your periods are infrequent. This will help you regulate your cycle. Or if you're taking it because you're sexually active, or maybe both, or you're taking it for breast enhancement, which I would advise don't do. That is not the way to approach feminization. That's my opinion. You don't have to listen to it. I'm not a doctor, but you don't have to be a doctor to get a clue, right? So you're putting these progestins and estrogens in your body, which are far worse to me than plant phytoestrogens. I mean, because plant phytoestrogens are not going to be as strong as what's going to be in your birth control. So yeah, your birth control is highly concentrated form of isolated compounds, typically androgens, which are not good. That's not what we want to put into our body, especially for birth control, especially just period. Over time, you're going to be sterile because your body's not going to have that, your body's going to be dependent on the birth control. So it's going to sterilize your ovaries, and the feedback loop is going to be, it's going to shut it off. It's going to say, shut it off, shut off your functions because we're receiving hormones elsewhere. So that's what birth control does. Yeah, so I don't know why you're on birth control. I just hope that you have a real valid reason for being on birth control. But anyways, I can't tell you if it's still safe to take Maca Root or saw palmetto and the like. All I can say, because I remember, definitely not an MD or an ND, but I can tell you lots of women who are on birth control, they do take Maca Root, they do take saw palmetto, they do take flaxseed, they do take phytoestrogens, they take BO. They're just fine. So in the long run, how does it all pan out? I don't know. Because I've never taken any of these things while I was on birth control. I got off of it, and I got off of it for good. I was on it for years. I decided it's not for me. And I was abstinent anyway, so, pregnancy wasn't a concern. But anyway, if you stop after your trial and cleanse your system, then you ask, do you think I should incorporate BO into my diet? That's all a choice. Like, I'm just gonna tell you. The only reason why I tell you girls to wait is so that you can learn about your body, so that you don't rush into it, so that you do take the time, that you do get the proper test panels done. That way, when you do start something like BO, you know what your body actually needs. You're addressing all your body's needs. You're helping that BO work much better, instead of just taking it. Because when you're a teen, you generally don't have access to getting the test done unless mom and dad are cool with it, or you have a job and you're able to, get to your doctor and do, get the panels done and everything. Because BO was generally used. There were some naturopathic doctors that were using BO for young girls. They were prescribing it. They were saying, you're 16, you're not getting a period, you're not developing correctly, we can start you on this glandular supplement, or organs, freeze-dried organs. Bovine ovarian will bring on the menses. So if a girl is 16 years old and she's not getting her period, a doctor would say, let's try the bovine ovarian supplement. We've got all your tests here. We know that you're not developing properly. The proof is there. The parent is okay with it, consented. The child is now going to take a therapeutic approach of waking up and developing these organs, these glands, but in this case, the organ, which is the ovary. So it's not that you can't take it at your age. It's just you need to know what's going on in your body. And generally, you're not going to have access to doctors and testing and money until you're out of high school. So that's the only reason why I say wait, so that you can, do the research. You've got time still. You can get the money together and you can do all this. So you can cleanse that crap out of your system. Absolutely. Take 6 weeks. You weren't on it for very long. It says on some forums, some young girls around your age had menstrual and hormonal problems. That's because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Sorry, excuse my my language, and even women, okay? It's not just you young girls. Even women don't know what the hell they're doing half the time. When I did my first attempt, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just taking the herbs like an idiot, okay? And so it could happen with a young woman just like it can happen with an older woman. It's all about here, and it's all about knowing your body and rigging it properly. So if they were having issues, they obviously didn't know what was going on in their bodies. They probably had normal cycles to begin with, and then when they took it at some random ass time. Who knows, right? And they were spotting, and they got scared. And then they probably were adding other herbals, being dum-dums. Maybe they were adding other herbals, strong herbals, phytoestrogens. Maybe they were on birth control too, So all of these things that they were taking were causing like a massive estrogen dominance, and maybe it was not bringing on their cycle, or maybe it was they were heavily bleeding. So there's reasons for this. It's not the BO, it's the person. And the mix of everything together. So, and lack of knowledge, of course, from the person.